Jai Jinendra, sir.
Jai Jinendra. अरिहंत सिद्ध सुर उपाध्याय साधु सर्व अर्थ के प्रकाशी मांगलिक उपकारी है। तीन को स्वरूप जानी राग ते भई चो भक्ति काय को नमाए स्तुति को उच्चारी है। धन्य धन्य तुमी से काज सब आज भयो कर चोरी बारंबार वंदना हमारी है। मंगल कल्याण सुख ऐसो हम चाहते हो मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। हो मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। So very Jai Jinendra and very good morning. This is 8:30 India time. Today we'll continue with the what we were doing last week, that Dev Shastra Guru Pujan, homage to God, scriptures and monk. We will continue that. We were in between midway. So today we will be doing the Jai Mala. Chapter 1, Vitrag Vigyan, Part 2, page number 6. So I'll make you a co-host, Urja, so you can share it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just 1 minute.
No problem. So today we have two new students who are joining from today. Of course, they are very well versed with all this Vitrak Vigyan, and his father is a great scholar, and because of that, he knows about all the Tattva Gyan right from his childhood. So we welcome Soumya Jain and Soumya Nayak. Both are Soumya, only the title is different. So
Jai
you
Jinendra
introduce
too.
yourself, yeah, Jai Jinendra, you introduce yourself in 1 minute, both of you. So the class will know that you have joined now, and you will be completing all the formalities as we go ahead. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. Sir, my name is Soumya, and this is my wife, Soumya Nayak. We both are basically we belong to Sagar, MP, but currently we are living in Delhi. I am a government servant working with Patent Office, Ministry of Industry and Commerce, and she is an IT professional working in Fujitsu Research India Private Limited. So we have means my father is a Shastri, and we have been associated with this Tattva Gyan and Swadhyay for since my childhood only. So we have joined this course with the objective of learning more and to bring uniformity and consistency in our Swadhyay. That is our purpose, and hopefully it will be a great learning experience. Basically, we have done all these courses in Hindi. First time we have joined in English, so that we also will be able to pursue our further studies in future if we plan to in English. So that is our plan. Thank you very
And
much. And
also they have done a course from University of Madras in English.
Yes. Yes, sir. I have completed my MA in genealogy this year only. I am yet to get my degree. MA Genealogy course from University of Madras. It's a regular course, 2-year MA course. And she also has done MA in Comparative Religion and Jainism from University of Ladnu. So this is our passion and this is our interest out of our jobs to pursue our studies in Jainism. So hopefully it will be a great learning experience with you all in this course as well. Looking forward to this course, sir. Thank you very much. Jai Jinesh.
You want to add something, Soumya Nayak?
That's it. So I think he covered all the points. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm very excited to join all these things, and I have looked at the syllabus, and I think some shastras I haven't read in English. So looking forward to it.
Yeah. And the best part about them is that they both are doing together. It's a very rare combination that both the partners having a keen interest in pursuing this kind of religious studies. And so it's one of the rarest combinations. We do have couples, but this kind of like, both having a deep interest and professionally also doing some course on that and then coming on to this. So basically the difference here would be that our inclination is more towards practical Jainism. Like whatever principles that we learn, we put to use it in our day-to-day life and see how our life can be more blissful, happy, and stress-free, and that is the need of the hour. In a recent report, I read in the newspaper, earlier it was that 1 out of 3 people are under some mental problem, depression, anxiety, or something or that. But after the COVID, that ratio has increased. Now it has gone above 40-45%. And these are the people, majority of them, they don't think that they have a problem. That is the main problem. Now, suppose if you consider that you have a problem, then you go to doctor and get it solved, But if you don't think that you have a problem, then what happens? There are side effects to that, and frustrations, anxiety, depression, these are all its byproduct. And here we study the theme, I would say in one line, what Jainism offers us to be happy in all situations. Life throws challenges at us from different perspectives, different angles, and from different kinds of relationships. But we have solution to each and every problem through these principles. So we understand this principle very deeply, and then we apply it to connect it to our day-to-day life. And that's how it makes this study very interesting and fruitful. So our endeavor would be that you understand it very deep. And although there are not many takers for this kind of studies, but still we have been very successful since last 8 years, and we have around 2,000 to 3,000 students across 40 odd batches studying this. And in every batch, of course, we have 4 or 5 students with exceptional capabilities, and they go on to complete these studies, not only complete these studies, but they become a teacher. So we have around 10-15 people from our first batch, 2016, which passed out in 2020. So they are teaching now. So if you spare time and go deep into this kind of studies, you are not only able to justify your queries, but you develop that convincing power to explain it to others and make them understand. And when you go and try to make other people understand, it is you only who is going to benefit, that you can go deeper into that. So that is the whole course is all about. We take only 2 hours a week, nothing more, only 2 hours a week. And if you have a deep interest and your own intent, then it becomes easy and very fruitful. We are into just first semester, and many of the students do call me up and say that, like, I had this situation in my life and earlier I used to cry, and now I can just realize that kuch hua hi to nahi. It's so simple, kuch hua nahi. So, like, of course, the young lot are also very good at grasping, and like, if they are able to get these thoughts and ideas in their mind, then they are very good at applying it also, and they acknowledge also. So that's a very good thing. So we have got a very good lot of students. Of course, some people or the other always have a challenge, some commitment here and there. So the presence is not as I desire, but still I can't help it, like some situations are like that you cannot avoid. And it is the studies, religious studies, that is the first thing that we, keep out, So there is a bit of struggle, and behind that struggle, the results are, I would say, incredible, beyond our belief. Like, I was also into business, and then suddenly I retired from business, and I thought, okay, this is enough for me. So it has been 12 years that I am out of any kind of active business or anything in that sort. And still I feel that I'm just beginning now. So every day is a learning day for all of us. And Bade Pandit ji, Ravindra ji Atman, he used to always say in his lectures that Jivan bhar vidyarthi bane raho. So you be a student your whole life. So we keep on learning, and I am also doing that only. So it's all very entertaining and interesting and very absorbing, you don't feel like getting bored any point of time. So the more you go deep into it, you realize that, oh, the solutions are so simple. Life's complexities are increasing because we are in the fifth era. And in this time, because of the advance of technology and all, our life has become complex. It is not that simple as it used to be 25 years ago, 50 years ago. But having said that, I think we are very grateful to have this access to this kind of knowledge and scriptures, where you learn every day some trick or the other to encounter whatever problems, adversities that you have in your life, and bring in a solution which makes you always happy. So it's a very interesting kind of studies, and a different kind of study, I would say. So we'll start with the Stavan.
Sir, can you make me the co-host? I'll be able to share my
I
screen.
made you, no? 1 minute, let me check. These things are happening time and again.
Yeah, now it's come.
Okay.
So which page number should I open?
6, page number 6. So those of you who don't have textbook, there is a PDF also I've shared, and this is also there on the screen. So we'll begin with the Stavan, the prayer. Okay. And in this prayer, the author, Pandit Jugal Kishorji Jugal, from Kota, has included 12 bhavnaएं. Okay. So first we will learn about the 12 reflections or 12 bhavna. And then, of course, we will again go back to Dev Shastra and Guru. So we had already done 2 chapters on Dev Shastra Guru, chapter number 2, and the last chapter, the chapter number 10. And from that, everyone are well versed with the definition of Dev, Shastra, and Guru. God, true scriptures, and true monk. Okay, so we'll continue with that. So we'll begin with the prayer. I would like Madhuji, you read
Yes, sir.
one at a time.
Prayer.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, Also the Hindi one.
No,
I'll
you
read the-
directly read the English one.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I have wandered through this wood of life and appropriated every particle thereof. But I did not get even a ray of joy like the deer after mirage in the desert.
So the spelling of the deer is not correct. It is not
Yes.
DEAR, it is DEER. You know?
Yes, sir. Yes.
If you see the Hindi one, मृग सम मृग तृष्णा के पीछे मुझको न मिली सुक्की रेखा. So in the desert, everyone knows that there is a mirage. Mirage means the deer sees water through a long distance, and actually it is the reflection of the sun on the sand that is creating a illumination that there is a water. But in actual, the water is not there. So the deer goes on running to there and he finds no water there. And then if he looks further, he sees water again there. And then he runs there and go and reaches there. And he doesn't have, there's no water there. So like doing this repeatedly, he ultimately dies, but he never gets a drop of water. Similarly, I have wandered through this wood of life. So wood here means one means jungle, jungle. So I have wandered this wood of life and appropriated every particle thereof. That means ki this soul has been wandering from one state of existence to another state of existence since time immortal, and through this transmigration, he has seen every particle thereof. Okay, but he did not enjoy a ray of joy any point of time. Just like a deer never have fulfillment of his desire of having water in a mirage in the desert. Similarly, this soul never experienced joy, a ray of joy, even slight also. And that is the story of a mundane existence. Okay. So this is the just a preface to the 12 reflections. And now we will be doing two reflections at a time, because it will take further time. So now we begin with the transitoriness. Transitoriness, of course, we have read this Bara Bhavna in Vitrag Vigyan 1, last chapter. It was by Pandit Jaichandji Chabda. Okay. And this one is by Pandit Jugal Kishorji Jugal. Okay. So more or less the underlying theme is same in every 12 reflections, but the content changes, the narratives changes. Okay. So we'll be reading this also. And this Bara Bhavna, or the 12 reflection, wishful reflections. Okay. These are a way of practicing discriminative knowledge. Okay, Ved Vigyan kaise karna, this Bara Bhavna teaches us. This is nothing but a trick of practicing discriminative knowledge from different angles and perspectives. Okay, so the first 6 reflections, okay, Anitya, Asharan, Sansar, Ekatva, Anyatva, or Asuchi. These first 6 reflections, this संसार शरीर और भोगों से विरक्त करते हैं. Okay, so this takes us away from mundane existence. The sansar and sharir is our body, and bhog is the sensual pleasures. Okay, so from time immortal, this ignorant soul has been attracted to this kind of sensual pleasures, and he feels that this is only the life. But here the author explains us that from each perspectives that there is no happiness in this worldly existence. Okay, so he teaches us a way to get out of this clutter, So the first one is impermanence of the world or the transitoriness. Okay. The second one is asharan bhavna or forlornness. It means that no one can provide protection in this universe. Okay. The third one is solitude of the soul, ekatva bhavna, oneness. The fourth one is, 1, 2, 3, sansar. Sansar is worldly existence. Then ekatva is oneness. Then anyatva is separateness. And the sixth one is asuchi, is impurity. So we'll be first studying the first six, and the next six bhavana, 7 to 12, teaches us about the fundamental elements. So पहली 6 संसार शरीर भोगों से विरक्त करती है और बाकी की 6 तत्व परख. Okay, so it explains us how to practice discriminative knowledge from the perspective of the fundamental elements. So in all, these are very important for us to practice discriminative knowledge. Even a monk, when he is initiated into monkhood, the first thing that he does is he contemplates on these reflections, okay, 12 contemplations. And when he gets some upsarg or inflictions on his body, okay, then at that time also he practices or he thinks about these 12 reflections. And these are, such a solution that it brings us instant happiness, Now, take an example of the first, transitoriness or the impermanence of the world. All dreams of the world and the hopes of the mind are false. Body, life, and youth are all transitory. They wither in a moment. झूठे जग के सपने सारे, all dreams of the world, झूठी मन की सब आशाएं. Ashaye means hopes, desires. Okay. So these all dreams of the world and the hopes or the desires of the mind are false. What do you mean by false? झूठे है मतलब क्या? All are very illusionary. Okay. And because of delusion, मिथ्यात्व के कारण हमें लगता है कि these are all सच्चे हैं, real. Body, life, and youth are all transitory. It never remains permanently, okay? So there is impermanence of this whole world. Nothing is stationary. Everything keeps on changing. Tan, Jivan, Yovan. Okay? Tan is body, Jivan is life, and Yovan is youth. So you are not going to be youth your whole life. Earlier you were a kid, then you become a grown-up child, then you become a youth, then you become a mid-age person, and then you become old, and then you die. So these are all, then you take birth in another state of existence, okay? There also the same process goes on, and then you take another birth. So this cycle of taking birth and death, it keeps on going and going. There is nothing permanent in this world. But our soul is a permanent. That's how you practice discriminative knowledge. So for practicing discriminative knowledge, you need to have two teams, One side is our soul, and the other side are all the other associations. So because of delusion, we believe that these associations are us. We have oneness with that. We have mindness with that. We are a doer of that, and we are a enjoyer of that. But in reality, there cannot be oneness, mindness, doership, or enjoyment of those objects. It is because of delusions that we feel that way. So here the author wants to explain us and teach us that you also practice descriptive knowledge. Your soul is only permanent entity. All else are all impermanent. Okay. So nothing lasts. So it is not worth spending your life after those things which are of temporary nature. Now consider the wealth that Anil Ambani had when his father died and his both brothers got separated. And probably he was in the fifth, in the list of all the wealthy people in India at that point of time, he was in the fifth place. And today he is bankrupt, right? So, and somebody like very ordinary person, and he rise to become a very wealthy person. So all this shows that there is impermanence of the world, impermanence around around us. Nothing is permanent. But our soul is permanent entity. It exists eternally. It was there previously, it is still now, and it will remain in future. Only the modification keeps on changing, changing, changing. So in that Bara Bhavana that we read earlier by Pandit Jaichandji Chabda, the first one was about the parameters are same. Anitya Bhavana. Dravya Rup Kari Sarvathir Parjai Thire Kon. So from the substance point of view, the whole universe is constant. But from the manifestation point of view, nothing is constant. Okay, so for practicing descriptive knowledge, we can very well think, contemplate from this perspective that all the dreams of the world and the hopes of the mind are false, impermanence. There is no staticness in that. Body, life, and youth are all transitory. They wither in a moment. Shan Bangur Palme Murjaye. So we cannot take shelter in this, right? So we have to take shelter in our soul, which is a permanent entity. And there, if you take shelter in your soul, you will find happiness, peace, bliss, all the good qualities that our soul possesses. Yeah, anyone having any question? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, no one is asking. I thought somebody was asking a question. So in this way, we will keep on moving ahead. The next one is, I'm taking the first one, then you all will read third
I'll read,
onwards.
sir.
Yeah.
Oh, shall I read from transitoriness again?
Not the transitoriness, the second one.
Forlornness. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Forlornness. Forlornness. I did not get any joy in gold or sensual pleasures for a moment. The world is a vast ocean of turmoils where pleasures are illusionary.
So no one can provide protection. Okay. I did not get any joy in gold or sensual pleasures for a moment. So I think there is a mistake here because it is in the one minute. So in the Hindi it said Samrat Mahabal Senani us क्षण को टाल सकेगा क्या? Okay. So this statement of I did not get any joy in gold and sensual pleasures, it's coming in the third one, you know. So there is some mistake, printing mistake here. The world is a vast ocean of turmoils.
Mm.
So this is all again coming on to the third one only. Okay. So here we will do the translation right now only. Samrat Mahabal Senani us क्षण को टाल सकेगा क्या? Even if you are a very good fighter, you know, great fighter like Chhatrapati Shivaji or a very famous example of Sikandar, you know, he conquered the whole world and he wanted to meet his mother. He had conquered the whole world and he was coming back to his native place and he wanted to meet his mother. But uh, the end of his life was very near and he thought that I've made so much of wealth, you know, I've accumulated so much of wealth from across the world. And then he thought that I want to give up this whole wealth if I'm able to get some more time so that I can meet my mother. But as the destiny was like that only, that he could not meet his mother. And then he said to his assistants that when I die and when my funeral procession is going on, you keep all this wealth together with that and show this to the world that all my wealth did not help me to get to extend my life beyond what I had. So these are all not taking shelter into. Okay. And अशरण मृत काया में हर्षित निज जीवन डाल सकेगा क्या? So this whole body is right now a dead body. It is not dead only when the soul goes away. Right now it is a dead body. It is made up of matter. And for spending our life after taking care of this body and its other associations is just, I would say, it's something that a mad person does. And because of the influence of delusion, this soul believes like that. But that is not the correct understanding. Nothing in this world can provide protection to you. Okay. So all these existence associations are very, you know, not permanent, not something that you can take shelter into. So these are all itself very impermanent in nature. So you cannot take shelter in something which is already impermanent, which is not stationary. And against that, our soul is always there, static, permanent. And if we take shelter in our soul, we will become happy. So we now move on to the third one. I'll correct this and send you in the group. Okay. Grammatically also I have to check. I'll write it properly and we'll do that. The third one, now third and fourth, both we will do, not the third and fourth and fifth we'll do together because it's all related. It's, you know, one side, two sides of a coin, just like two sides of a coin. So we'll do the third one only. And Soumya ji, you read the third one, Soumya Jain. So how do we differentiate whether I'm calling you or your spouse?
Sir,
You only
names are Soumya and Soumya.
Achha, the spelling is different.
The spelling, English spelling is same, sir, but in Hindi we write Soumya without and Soumya there is a.
Okay, okay, good. You have pointed a very valid point. Soumya, yeah, I am Soumya. I am asking Soumya.
Yes, sir. Sansar Bhavna, worldly existence. O Lord, amidst the turmoils of the ocean of worldly existence and its false and uncertain pleasures, I did not have an iota of happiness in gold, women, and palaces, even for a moment.
So these sensual pleasures and the wealth and all, I didn't find an iota of happiness. Iota of happiness means even slight quantity of happiness in them amidst the turmoils of the ocean of worldly existence. So this whole universe or the whole worldly existence is full of misery, okay? And there is illusion everywhere. We feel that there is happiness in it, but the moment we go through that, we consume that, we find that there is no happiness in that, okay? So संसार महादुख सागर के प्रभु दुखमय सुख आभासों में. आभास means illusion, okay? So it is all false and uncertain pleasures. It's not permanent. I did not have an iota. मुझको न मिला सुख क्षण भी. So I never experienced a moment of eternal bliss and happiness. In all this worldly existence, like gold, Kanchan is gold, Kamini is woman, and Prasado is mahal, palaces, even for a moment. So these are all objects which distract us from our soul. So we should practice distributive knowledge here and take shelter in our soul, and there is permanent happiness over there. The quality of the attribute of happiness lies in our soul. It is not in any of the objects outside. But because of delusion, we believe that there is happiness over there, and that's why we are running after this sensual pleasures and worldly existence. Now we move on to the fourth one, Ekatva, and the fifth one, Anyatva, both together. Soumya.
Oneness. I came here all alone, and so arrived all the souls in the world. I thought, body and wealth give us company, but they leave us, as do other possessions. Separateness. These possessions were never part and parcel of myself. I have always stood aloof from these. I am separated from all others, drinking deep the equality of the soul.
So, from the positive side, the nature of each substance, not only our substance, the soul, but each substance in this universe is like that, all are individually separate from each other. There cannot be a union of two substances, okay? But we believe that these two substances are together, but it is never together. So there cannot be a unification of two substances in this universe, okay? So I came here alone, and I will also go alone. All the associations that I acquired throughout this life will remain here. Even my body, which it's very close to my soul, it will remain here. You know, when a person dies, the body remains here, the soul goes away. And that's a very good point for practicing distributive knowledge, that the soul and the body are different. So it is here that we came to know that the body and the soul are different. But if you go and ask somebody on the street, he would say that I am the body itself. I am good looking. I am bad looking. I am tall. I am short. I can speak very nicely, you know. So all these kind of wrong beliefs people in this universe have. Only very few people are able to differentiate between the soul and the body, between the soul and the other associations, and this oneness, the reflection of oneness, teaches us that everything here is all individual, alone only. And I thought that body and wealth give us company. They are my associates, but they leave us as do other possession. So जिसको हम अपना मानते हैं वही हमें छोड़कर चला जाता है. So there is nothing called ours in this universe. Only this soul is ours, this solitude of the soul. So oneness is one name. You can also call it as solitude of the soul. So the one who is aloof from all other substances is my soul, and so we should take shelter in it, and we should treat it, which should treat our soul as our own, and all other things are separate from us. And that is what in the fifth one, the separateness, anyatva bhavna, separateness reflection teaches us that each individual, each substance is different from the other substances. So here it said, I cannot have a relationship, any other thing. And the fifth one says that I am different from all the other substances. These possessions were never part and parcel of myself. I have always stood aloof from these. I am separated from all others, drinking deep the equality of the soul. So, निज में पर से अन्यत्व लिए, निज समरस. Samras is samtaras. Samtaras means equality, passionlessness, detachment. Okay, so we can really enjoy this samtaras. That is what we can do, and that's why these teachings and preachings are there, that you realize your true identity. You are yourself is a mass of infinite attributes. If you look at the qualities that you have, you will feel that you are a fulfilling substance. There is nothing that is you are devoid of. Only because of the modification that is impermanent and that keeps on changing every moment, this soul believes that that modification itself is me. But in actual, you are the substance who is always alone, and there cannot, or you are separate from all the other possessions. Okay. So on one side, the author is teaching us about oneness, and on the other side, separateness. So when we go deep into this thought of oneness, of course, oneness means we are different from others, and separateness also means that all the other material are separate from us. So these two reflections complement each other. One is from the positive side, the other is from the negative side. Now the next, impurity. So Urjaji, you read.
Yeah. I have been wasting my precious life in adorning the human frame, which impure form has absolutely no connection with my soul.
I
And
have been
reflects also.
wasting my precious life, most valuable part of my life, in adorning the human frame. Human frame here means the body, So we do all the makeup and all to look ourselves beautiful. But this body is itself impure, which impure form has absolutely no connection with my soul. So my soul is pure and with infinite attributes, and this body is impure, and it is quite different from the soul. So here again, the author teaches us to discriminate from our body. Okay. Sansar, Sarir or Bhog. So this is from Sarir or the body. So I have been wasting my precious life in adorning the human frame that is our body. So we do makeup, we do yoga to maintain our body, we do go to the gym to look after our body. But this body, we take so much of time in doing all these activities, but in actual, this body is not mine. I am the soul. Okay. And that soul is always a permanent and pure substance. Okay. Only there is impurity in the modification, and when you take shelter in your pure substance, this impure modification also goes away, and the modifications also become pure. So you have to practice descriptive knowledge here in Asuchiti Bhavana. Now we move on to the next 6, which deals with the fundamental elements. The first one is the influx or the Asrav Tattva. Okay, so we have read about 7 fundamentals in the Vitrag Vigyan 1, and their soul, non-soul, influx, bondage, stoppage of influx, dissociation of bondage, and the last one, moksha or the liberation. Okay, so 7, Jeev, Ajeev, Asrav, Bandh, Samvar, Nijra, moksha. Soul, non-soul, influx, bondage, stoppage of influx, dissociation of bondage, and the last one is liberation. So first we will read about this Asrav. So here Asrav also includes Bandh, because they are both a cause of misery, presently also, and in future also it will bring miseries to our life. So who else? Pratibhaji, you read Asrav and Samvar both together.
Okay. I have always indulged in the trade of auspicious and inauspicious deeds day and night. Door of influxes has been kept open for all mental and physical deeds. Stoppage of influx. My innermost has been burning with all sorts of merits and demerits. Let the rays of right belief enlighten me and bring spiritual vitality through non-flow of influxes.
So influx and stoppage of influx, both opposites, but first one, influx. I have din raat shubha-shubh bhavo se, I have always indulged in the trade of auspicious and inauspicious deeds. So auspicious is shubh, inauspicious is ashubh. Okay, so I have always indulged in the trade of auspicious and inauspicious deeds day and night, din raat, throughout. Okay, door of influxes has been kept open for all mental and physical deeds. So we have, you remember that example that we discussed in Sat Tattva while we were reading this seven fundamental elements? The example of boat. Do you all remember?
Yes.
So in
Yes,
that
sir.
boat, there was a hole,
Yes, sir.
and through that hole, water was entering the boat, and that is the influx. Okay. So door of influxes has been kept open for all mental and physical deeds. So mental is manas and physical deeds is vani and kaya. Okay. So all these activities of mind, speech, and body is a cause of influx. Okay. And then what was the solution there in that boat example?
You have to stop the water that's coming in the boat.
So we have to block that hole, through some plank, wooden plank, or some cloth or whatever. So that is stoppage of influx. My innermost has been burning with all sorts of merits and demerits. So it is the sentiment, it is the reflections, it is the what you call bhav karma, So by innermost has been burning, they are saying that because of this bhav karma, that is the auspicious and the inauspicious karma, my innermost has been burning. So we are experiencing misery because of that. Let the rays of right belief. So the stoppage of influx will only begin when we have this right belief. Let the rays of right belief enlighten me and bring spiritual vitality through non-flow of influxes. So when we take shelter in our soul, the right belief manifests, and when the right belief manifests, there is a stoppage of the influx, okay? And that's how we become happy. The path of liberation begins from there. The end of delusion is also from there only. And so this is a turning point in our life, the life that we have been living since time immortal, transmigrating from one state of existence to another. And now, after taking shelter in our soul, we have been able to manifest somewhere or the stoppage of influx. And this has stopped all the miseries, mentally also and physically also. So Asrav includes bandh also. So influx includes bondage also. And samvar, nirjara, moksha. So moksha is not here. So nirjara will include moksha also. And this samvar is separate. So we have three fundamental elements again here. Asrav, samvar and nirjara. Influx, stoppage of influx, and shedding of bondage or dissociation of karma. So the next two, nirjara and lok. Samyak, you will read?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
शुभ और अशुभ की ज्वाला से झुलसा है मेरा अंतस्तल शीतल समकित किरणें फूटे
So
सवर से
that
जागे
has been done. That
अंतर्बल.
has been done.
My innermost has been burning with all sorts of merits and demerits. Let the rays of right belief enlighten me and bring spiritual vitality through non-flow of influxes.
Yeah, this was done. Now next one, nirjara and lok.
फिर तप की शोधक बन जगे कर्मों की कड़ियाँ टूट पड़े सर्वांग निजात्म प्रदेशों से अमृत के निर्झर फूट पड़े. Let the pure fire of penance burn the shackles of the karmas. Let springs of everlasting peace rise in all the spatial units of my soul. हम छोड़ चले यह लोक तभी लोकांत विराजे क्षण में जा निज लोक हमारा वासा हो शोकांत बने फिर हमको क्या. Leaving this mundane existence, let me rest on the boundary line of the universe. Let my existence alone be my abode, and let me enjoy the elimination of all my misfortunes.
So shedding of bondage, the first one. Let the pure fire of penance. Penance means tap. Okay. And because through this penance only we are able to break the shackles of the karma. Okay. Get rid of the karmas. Destroy the karmas. Okay. Let springs of everlasting peace rise in all the spatial units of my soul. Sarvang nijatam pradesho mein. Pradesh means spatial units. Okay. So happiness is spread all around in our spatial units of my soul. So the path of liberation begins with stoppage of influx, and then with the shedding of bondage, we offload all our existing accumulated karmas. And that's how that we have been wandering from time immortal in this 4 states of existence, transmigrating from one state to another state, then to next state, and it keeps on going. But when we get into the path of liberation, it takes very few time. Few time means it's there in the scriptures that in terms of time, we call it Ardhapurgal Paravartan. So because of you have manifested somewhere or the stoppage of influx, your time is now limited to the maximum to the Ardhapurgal Paravartan. And Ardhapurgal Paravartan is again a very big period of time. But compared to we have been in existence since time immortal, we have no beginning. Okay. So from that perspective, this also is a very short period of time. But those who are very hardworking, those who are putting their efforts in the right direction under the guidance of Dev Shastra Guru, they can get rid of all the accumulated karmas that has been bound from time immortal. And that's how they shed all the bondages and become permanently happy. Let springs of everlasting peace rise in all the spatial units of my soul. Now, the next one, the Lok Bhavna, universe. Living this mundane existence, let me rest on the boundary line of this universe. So, boundary line of the universe means what? Siddh Kshetra. Okay, so that is where, when we get liberated, we rest there. Living this mundane existence. So, mundane existence is this sansar or the lok. Okay, let me rest on the boundary line of this universe. So, that is the Siddh Kshetra. So, it is quite at the top of this existence of this universe. Living this mundane existence, let me rest on the boundary line of the universe. Let my existence alone, निज लोक हमारा वासा हो, शोकांत बने फिर हमको क्या. Let my existence alone be my abode, my home, and let me enjoy the elimination of all my misfortunes. So all these misfortunes will not be able to bring misery in my life because I have conquered all the passions, the alien expositions that I had, alien dispositions, okay, all sorts of. And now I am permanently and completely happy. So let my existence alone be my abode and let me enjoy the elimination of all my misfortunes. So when all the misfortunes goes away, you are enjoying completely eternal bliss permanently also. Now the last two, Bodhi Durlabh and Dharma Bhavna. Bodhi Durlabh is rarity of attainment of true path of liberation, knowledge and perceptional sentience. Okay. So one name is knowledge and perceptional sentience. In some other book, it's given rarity of attainment of true path and of liberation. So getting this kind of advice and education is very rare. Bodhi Durlabh, it is Durlabh. It's not available easily. So in this reflection, it is this is explained. And then the next one, Dharma Bhavna, it depicts the true religion. So we'll be doing both together. Who else is there? Roshni, you read this one.
Yes. Knowledge and perceptional sentience. Let the 3 gems of faith, sentience, and conduct appear in their full glory leaving the darkness of one-sided thinking. Let me only have consciousness and perceptional sentience, destroying all pride, deceitfulness, and delusion. Religion. Let religion be my eternal protector and give me company forever. Nobody belonged to me in this world. I also do not want any company in this life.
So, getting this kind of guidance and advice or the preachings is very rare. Let the three gems of faith, that is Samyak Darshan, sentience is the Samyak Gyan, and conduct is Samyak Charitra, appear in their full glory, leaving the darkness of one-sided thinking. So one-sided thinking is what? Ekant. Jage mam durlib bodhi prabho durnaitam satvar tal jave. So when we manifest this right belief, right knowledge, and right conduct, the darkness of one-sided thinking goes away. Let me only have consciousness and perceptional sentience, Gyan and Darshan. Bas Gyata Drashta. Okay, Gyata is consciousness and Drashta is perceptional sentience. Okay. So, bas Gyata Drashta reh jao. So, I am only a knower and seer, not anything beyond that. Okay. So, let me only have consciousness and perceptional sentience, Gyata Drashtapana, destroying Mad. Mad is pride, Matsar is jealousy, and jealousy, all pride, Matsar is, I think, jealousy. Here it is written deceitfulness, that is Mayachari, and Moho is delusion. Okay. So let's get rid of all these kind of passions and wrong belief, and let's enjoy the three gems of right belief, right knowledge, and right conduct. So this is very rare, and this kind of opportunity also comes very rare. So now we have got an opportunity that we got a birth in a Jain family, and above that we have got access to true God, true religion, and true scriptures and true monk. Okay, and because of that, by studying this, as you have studied engineering, doctory, or you have become a MBA or a CA, whatever, so you put in hard efforts, great efforts, studying 16 hours a day, 20 hours a day. You never thought of anything else at that point of time, and you were fully concentrated on your studies, and then you attend that degree. Similarly, we have got this opportunity to manifest right belief, right knowledge, and right conduct, and that we can do with access to true God, true scriptures, and true monk. We have access to all the essential elements that we need to manifest our happiness, and that all we have right now. So this is the right time to get into this kind of studies, and not only we will study, but we will also contemplate and think about those ideas and the principles that we study here, and then we arrive at a decision, and that decision is the icebreaker. So unless and until you analyze and decide, nothing is going to happen in your life. Nothing good is going to happen in your life. So you can manifest these three gems, and by manifesting this three gems, you can destroy all kinds of pride, deceitfulness, delusions, jealousy, greed, whatever, all kinds of passions. And that is what should be our objective when we have got this human life. The last one, it's Dharma Bhavana, or the true religion. Let religion be my eternal protector, okay, and give me company forever. चिर रक्षक धर्म हमारा हो और धर्म हमारा चिर साथी. Permanent companion. I want to live this life with this true religion only. Nobody belonged to me in this world. जग में ना हमारा कोई था. I also do not want any company in this life. हम भी न रहे जग के साथी. So, this religion is only our true companion. This religion is only worth manifesting. This religion is only worth putting effort into. And that will make our life without misery, permanently happy and eternal blissful. So these 12 reflections were only trick, 12 tricks to come to practice descriptive knowledge. And by practicing this descriptive knowledge, we can be permanently happy. So this was about 12 reflections. And now we are moving on to the last part of this chapter, that is Dev, Shastra and Guru. So again, we are coming back to Dev, Shastra, Guru, and that is where we are going to conclude. So initially for Dev, there are 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are 4 verses on that. And then for Shastra 1, and then Guru 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So again for Guru 5. So first we'll read the Dev, about Dev. Subhangi ji, you read all the verses 1, 2, 3 and 4. 4 only, 4.
Okay.
Whatever is there on the page number 9. Yeah.
Page number 9.
Yeah. Charno mein aaya, from there. I have approached.
चरणों में आया हूँ प्रभुवर, शीतलता मुझको मिल जावे, मुर भाई ज्ञान लता मेरी नित अंतर्बल से खिल जावे. I have approached thy feet to get supreme peace of mind. Let the withered knowledge sentience rise again with the help of my own soul force. सोचा करता हूँ भोगों से बुझ जावेगी इच्छा ज्वाला, बुझ जावेगी इच्छा ज्वाला, परिगाम निकलता है लेकिन मानो पावक ने घी डाला. I have been thinking that the fire of my desires will be extinguished with the pursuit of pleasures. The result, however, has been that they have only fanned that fire. तेरे चरणों की पूजा से इंद्र सुख की ही अभिलाषा, अब तक ना समझ ही पाया प्रभु सच्चे सुख की परिभाषा. I have always cherished desires for pleasures of the senses with my adoration. I have never understood the real nature of the supreme happiness. तुम तो अधिकारी हो प्रभुवर, जग में रहते जग के प्यारे न्यारे नहीं हाँ न्यारे अतएव I cannot read that word.
अतएव झुके तब चरणों में,
अतएव झुके तब चरणों में, जग में
माणिक मोती सारे.
Manik Moti Sare. You are perfectly passionless, O Lord, away from this world and yet living in it. The pleasure and pelf of this world have, therefore, fallen on thy feet.
So this is all about the true God, Dev. So I have approached your feet, thy feet. So the seeker is now telling to the true God, I have approached thy feet to get supreme peace of mind. Let the withered knowledge, wrong knowledge, incorrect knowledge, Let the withered knowledge sentience rise again with the help of my own soul force. So the withered knowledge, let it correct it. मुरझाई ज्ञान लता मेरी निज अंतर बल से खिल जावे. So the earlier, the one which was withered, the knowledge which was withered, let that rise again with the help of my own soul force. So with the help of my own soul force, I can get rid of the delusion, and the knowledge that was withered will now become perfect. I have been thinking that the fire of my desires will be extinguished with the pursuit of pleasures, but that is not so. That's a wrong thinking. Only by taking shelter in our soul, we can experience permanent joy and happiness. And when we experience that, the desire does not rise, and that is the way of destroying that desire. It is, you cannot destroy your desire by just fulfilling the desire for enjoying the sensual pleasures. Okay, so this desire of sensual pleasures can only be extinguished when you take shelter in the soul. So when you try to fulfill your desire by enjoying the sensory objects, the result is, however, has been that they have only fanned that fire. So that fire of desire only increased. Okay, so there is no solution in enjoying and consuming the sensual pleasures. You have to get rid of that by just taking shelter in our soul. There is happiness, there is content, there is satisfaction, and through that satisfaction, the desire does not arise, and that is the way of extinguish that. I have always cherished desires for pleasures of the senses with thy adoration. I have never understood the real nature of the supreme happiness. So I've always worshipped you, okay, and pay homage to you for getting the sensual pleasures. I have never understood the real nature of the supreme happiness. So what is the supreme happiness? What is the right form of happiness? I never understood. And I understood only this sensual pleasure is the real happiness. And because of that, I have suffered a lot. And now I have got the true understanding that the nature of happiness, the permanent happiness, is in my soul only. So when I take shelter in my soul, I'll be able to experience the real happiness. So this was my mistake. And the last one, you are perfectly passionless, O Lord, away from this world and yet living in it. तुम तो अभिकारी हो प्रभुवर, जग में रहते जग से न्यारे. So the true God is devoid of all kinds of passions, and he has जग में रहते जग से न्यारे. O Lord, away from this world and you are living in it, yet living in it. Okay. So this God who has conquered all kinds of passions is still in this universe only, but it is different from all this worldly existence. So still in the true God, we include Aryant and Siddh. So Aryant is still having a body. Siddh Bhagwan does not have a body. The liberated soul does not have a body. But the one who is in the omniscient state is still having a body. But he is different from that body. The pleasure and pulp of this world have therefore fallen on thy feet. अतएव झुके तव चरणों में जग के माणिक मोते सारे. So by saying that, the implication here is that I have left all my wealth, pleasures of this world on your feet, okay? Just because you have been teaching me and preaching me the way that how I can be permanently happy, and that is what you have manifested in yourself, and you are teaching me the same thing, that how I can also be happy and live a life like you have done it. So this true God truly inspires us to become one permanent God. Moving on to the next, the Shastra, the religious text or the scriptures. Okay. There are only two lines only on that, and then we move on to the guru or the monk. So everyone has read. Himalij is left, so you read this Shastra.
Yes, sir. Thy divine voice is multi-faced, wherein springs of relativity rise. On this happy ship of multifacedness, lads of being cross this ocean and reach the shore of full bliss. A lighthouse star for everlasting bliss.
No, leave that
The
one. Let me
monks
complete. Let me complete
Okay.
first, and then one.
Okay,
So
sir.
this is about the true scriptures. Thy divine voice is multifaceted. Multifaced mean relativity. Syad vad mai. So your preachings or the divine sound that we have in the holy assembly is multi-faced, wherein springs of relativity rise. So शुभ नय के झरने झरते हैं. Okay. So your voice is such that people experience eternal bliss by following your preachings. On this happy ship of multifacetedness, उस पावन नौका पर लाखों प्राणी भववारिधि तीरते हैं. Lakhs of beings cross this ocean of misery and reach the shore of full bliss. Okay. So your preachings, your teachings, the scriptures, they all taught us how to become happy by experiencing the multifacetedness of our soul, and doing this, lakhs of beings cross this ocean of misery and reach the shore of full bliss, complete detachment, and that is what the scriptures teaches us. So if we follow on the footsteps of our Panch Parmeshti and follow the guidance given us through the scriptures, we can also be happy like them. Now coming on to the last one, the guru or the monk. A lighthouse tower for everlasting blinks. The monks have renounced all, including clothes. हे गुरुवर शाश्वत सुख दर्शक यह नग्न स्वरूप तुम्हारा है. So the nakedness of your body shows us the way to become permanently happy, everlasting bliss. So you have renounced all. So we also understand through this that we also have to renounce all, including our clothes, and become a monk like you. This form of the nude monks is an illuminator of life's transitoriness. The destructive nature of the world, jag ki nashwarta ka sacha. So here again there is a mistake. This form of the nude monks is not the correct meaning of this. It has come already covered in the previous line. So jag ki naswarta ka sacha, that means the destructive, the momentary destructive nature of world is an illuminator of life's transitoriness. Coming on to the next two, when we sleep, neglecting our soul and seeking pleasures of senses and pelf, or when under the cover of darkness we saw the seeds of poisonous thorn in the blissful path of eternity. In that loneliness of the midnights when cruel animals roam about in woods, you are engaged in metaphysical thinking, तत्वों का चिंतन, over truths of life and immortality. So, you are thinking, contemplating about the 7 fundamentals. So when we are sleeping, okay, and seeking pleasures of senses and pelf, or when under cover of darkness, like during the night, we saw the seeds of poisonous thorn. So sleep is not good for us, you know. When we sleep, our consciousness become, you know, uh, of course, our consciousness is active at that point of time, but we are not able to put in any real efforts at that point of time. Okay. So at that point of time, we are sowing the seeds of poisonous thorns in the blissful path of eternity. At the same time, the monks or our guru, what they do? They, you know, they concentrate on their self and they enjoy supreme eternal bliss. In that loneliness of the midnight when cruel animals roam about in woods, you are engaged. So the guru is engaged. Their sleep is very, very little, you know. It is said that their sleep is such that they sleep for 1.5 seconds and then they again gets connected to the soul, then again they sleep and then they again connect to sleep. They don't sleep like us, that we don't even make out what is going around us. We are completely immersed in our sleep, you know. So the monk, they are engaged in metaphysical thinking. Metaphysical thinking means thinking about the 7 fundamental elements over truths of life and immortality. So the true monks are like that. Next one. You perform penance on mounts, on the mountains, on the riversides, and under the trees in rain. So they inflict pain on themselves, you know, by performing penances on mountain. When there is a summer, they go to the top of the mountain and do meditation over there. And when it's a winter, they go near the riverside because you know that in the riverside there is already uh, cold there, and so they go there and they are already not having any clothes on them, so they go to the riverside and uh, they practice discriminative knowledge by meditating over there. And during the rain also they try to practice this discriminative knowledge. And by doing that, they drink deep the fluid of equilibrium in hours of joys and sorrows. So whether somebody is inflicting pain on them, they still enjoy equilibrium at that point of time. And when there is a occasion for joy, at that time also they are immersed in their uh, permanent nature of the soul. So such is the monk. Some challenges coming in our life and we get disturbed, we get mentally disturbed. We are not able to perform our regular duties also efficiently. But to them, even a infliction of pain on them. Like there is a famous story of Sukomal Muniraj. I think her mother in previous birth have now become a fox, and the Sukomal Muniraj is now a monk now, and that fox comes there, and not fox but lioness. Now he's in lioness life, and she comes there and attacks that monk, and it took him 3 days to tear the body of the monk, but the monk was deeply engrossed in himself, and never a thought came that it was better that I was at home only, because he was the prince of a king. So he was having all the facilities in his life, all the sensual pleasures, but he left those sensual pleasures and become a monk, and he practiced meditation. And while practicing the meditation, the mother of his previous birth came and attacked him, but he never got disturbed, and he was completely engrossed in himself, and he manifested complete knowledge, omniscient at that point of time. So these are the these are the nature characteristics of a true monk. You perform penances on mounts, riversides, and under the trees in rain. You drink deep the fluid of equilibriums in hours of joys and sorrows. So they are they don't get carried away by the joys, or they don't get they are not disturbed by the turbulence or the sorrows of their life. The last two stanzas on the Guru. Your kind voice that quenches our inner fire. Inner fire, then you have to write, you put an apostrophe there. Inner fire of sensual pleasures and passions. Antar jwala harti vani. So inner fire of what? Of sensual pleasures and passions. Falls on us as sweet as the fireworks. So the voice of the monks are so good that if you understand, if you listen to their preachings, immediately your fire of sensual pleasures and passions extinguishes, and it works as a firework to destroy that fire of sensual pleasures and passions. Sexuous bhavbandhan tar toot pade. Shackles of bondage then are broken. Khil jave antar ki kaliya, and the blossoms of the soul bloom. So, in the same situation, we get all kinds of anxiety, depression, tension, but this Guru, the monks, they enjoy those moments also. By practicing descriptive knowledge, by practicing meditation, they are able to weather that storm, of sensual pleasures and passions. The last one about the Guru. Here the Guru ends, and then there is one stanza on conclusion. There is no benefactor like you. Tum sa dani kya koi ho. You have given world treasures to the needy. World treasures to the needy. Jag ko de di jag ki nidya. So jag ki nidya is world treasures, and you have given to the needy, that is worldly people. Your preachings have been a solution like nothing else. There is no benefactor like you. You have given world treasures to the worldly people or the needy people. You distribute the gems of equality and peace day and night to all. So, how do the monks distribute? through his preachings and teachings and scriptures, they have written scriptures. Kunda Acharya wrote Samaysar 2000 years ago, and we are reading the same Samaysar right now. So you can see how fortunate we have been that we have got access to these scriptures that has been written 2000 years ago. So by reading those scriptures and understanding the preachings of the monk, we can be permanently happy and we can enjoy that equality and peace day and night throughout. So this was about the monk. So this God's scriptures and monks acts as a supporting medium for us, and by taking support from them, by understanding their preachings, and by contemplating and practicing, we come at a decision on the principles taught by them. And when we have a decision on that, then we are able to apply those principles in our life, and then our life becomes blissful. We are able to weather the storm of adversities in our life, the turbulence in our life, the disturbance in our life, the challenges in our life, and we are enjoying eternal bliss in those moments. So this is something very unique, unbelievable, but it is at the same time very true. So in the conclusion, the last words, I offer to you, O trio. Trio means three. Three means the God, the scriptures, and the monk. This mixed mass to get the everlasting bliss of the soul. He Nirmal Dev, tumhe pranam. He Gyan Deep Agam pranam. Agam is the scriptures. He Shanti Tyag ke Murtiman. So this is about the monk. So I offer to you, O trio, this mixed mass to get the everlasting bliss of the soul. I bow to thee, O Supreme Lord. I bow to thee, O holy scriptures, and I bow to thee, O holy monks, Dev Sastra Guru. Shiv Path Panthi, proceeding on the path of everlasting glory with peace and abjurement. Abjurement means renunciation, tyag, and everlasting glory with peace and abjurement. So when we bow to this true God and true scriptures and true monk, we are able to proceed on the path of everlasting glory with peace and abjurement. So by bowing means by following their advice. Okay. So we can also become happy like them. So this is the motivation that the God, the scriptures, and the monk gives to us, and we should understand their preachings and teachings, and then we should contemplate on that and arrive at a right decision, and that will change our life for good. We'll always enjoy eternal bliss in all the situations of our life. Okay, so just imagine the kind of teachings that we are undergoing right now, which is going to solve all our problems of our life, day-to-day life, and make us eternally blissful. So now we have done chapter 2 and chapter 3. So first we did chapter 3, then we did 1, 2, and 10. So 2, 10, and 1. And now we will be doing the fourth one. Okay. 3, 1 we have done first, then we have done the 2, then 10th, then first, and now we are coming on to the fourth. So now we'll follow the sequence. Okay. So these 3 chapters were about God, scriptures, and monks. So we did it together. So now is the fourth chapter, a classification of the Jain
So,
scriptures. Yeah.
so I had a question. This is
Hmm.
Himani here.
Yeah.
So when he says this mixed mass, he's referring to himself, is it?
No. This mixed mass is, what happened? This last line, no? One minute.
Yes, sir.
So in Hindi, there is a arg. So after we recite the Jaimala, okay, there is one line of arg. I'll read the Hindi one, you will understand it better. 1 minute. Hmm. So, Om Rim Shri Dev Shastra Gurubhyo Anarbrat Prapye Argam Nirvapamiti Swaha. So, the meaning English is written here. Hindi one is not given, so we got confused. I offer to you, O trio. So here, Om Rim Shri Dev Shastra Gurubhyo. So this is the trio. This mixed mass is Argya. Okay. Mixed mass of 8 substances that we were doing puja through. Okay. So that is called Argya. And what we are seeking? To get the everlasting bliss of the soul. So this was the meaning of that line. And then these 2 lines are coming. Hey Nirmal Dev, I bow to thee, O Supreme Lord, and that. So one line in Hindi is missing here in the English text, but if you see the English text, then you will understand everything.
Thank you, sir.
Which page is it, sir? May I know?
In Hindi, it is page number 5.
And in our book?
Just before in the Hindi, our book, it is page number 11. English text, it is 11. In Hindi text, it is page number 5. Okay, so we will move on to the 4th chapter, very important chapter, and one of my favorites is the chapter on 4 exposition. Char Anuyog. It is called 4 exposition. Anuyog is Kathan Paddhati, a way of presentation, and in English it is called exposition. But instead of writing 4 exposition, the name of this chapter is a classification of the Jain scriptures. So the Jain scriptures is classified into 4 exposition. Okay. So they have written this a classification of the Jain scriptures. It's the same, meaning is the same. Only there is difference in the presentation. So this chapter is written by Pandit Todarmalji, and there is a brief history given of Todarmalji here in the beginning. How much time is left? Let me see. So 21 minutes is left. So we will cover up as much as we can, and then we will continue next week. Okay. So the life history of Pandit Todarmalji, and okay. So we'll repeat again. Urjaji, you read this.
Yes, sir. A classification of the Jain scriptures. Pandit Toral was born about Vikram Samvat 1797 in Jaipur. His father, Jogi Das Ji, was of the Godika section of the Khandelwal Digambar Jain community. His mother was Ramba Bai. He was the only son of his parents. His elder son was Harish Chandra and younger Gumani Ram. Gumani Ram was a great revolutionary genius. He possessed wonderful memory. At the age of about 10, he obtained deep knowledge of difficult subjects like logic, grammar, and arithmetic. His all round brilliance was matchless. He himself writes, I have studied Samay Sar with its commentary, Panchastkiya, Pravachan Sar, Niyam Sar, Gomatta Sar, Labdi Sar, Trilok Sar, Tatwar Sutra, Chapan Sar, Purusharth Siddhi Upay, Ashta, Ashtapahud, Atmanushasan, and other works of the conduct of Jain monks and householders, and those that describe the life stories of great kings and others that engaged in the pursuit of the soul. His teacher was Panchidarji. He died at the early age of about 47 years on account of communal dissensions. Pandit Rajmalji, should I continue or?
Yeah. Continue.
Yeah. Pandit Rajmalji writes about him in Samvat 1829. It is very difficult to find such a brilliant person in these times. All these doubts about religious truths are removed if you meet and discuss things with him. 10 of his prose and poetic works are available. Some of the prose works are commentaries, others are independent writings. Those are Gomatsar Jivkand commentary, Gomatsar Karmakand commentary, Labdhi Sar, Chapansar commentary, Triloksar commentary, Atmanushasan commentary, Purusharth Siddhi Upay commentary, Artha Santrishti Vichar, Mokshmarg Prakashak, Rajasapurna Chitti, and Gomatsar Puja. His prose style is pure, fully developed, and comprehensible. He had extraordinary control over the language. He was a great scholar of Prakrit and Sanskrit along with Hindi. This lesson is based on the 8th chapter of the Mokshmarg Prakashak.
So Mokshmarg Prakashak is one scripture that we are going to study very elaborately and deeply in this 5 years. So it's going to start from the third sem, and every sem there are 9 chapters. So we will be doing 2 chapters at a time, and 7th and the 9th one are quite big and important. So 7th is we'll do in one sem, and 9th in the last sem. So these are this Mokshmarg Prakashak is a very, very good scriptures, because it not only teaches us those lights on the path of liberation, but at the same time, Pandit Todarmalji also teaches us how to interpret the scriptures written by our acharyas. He was born in Vikram Samvat 1790. That means in common era, it is, if you subtract 56 from here, then it becomes 1721. 1721 AD, or the common era. And his father, Jogidasji, was of the Godika section of the Khandelwal Digambar Jain community. So from the birth only, he got access to this Digambar Jain. Okay. His mother was Rambabai. His mother's name was Rambabai. He was the only son of his parents. But Todarmalji got married and he got 2 sons. The elder son is Harishchandra and the younger one is Gumaniram. Gumaniram was a great revolutionary genius like Todarmalji. Pandit Todarmalji possessed wonderful memory. At the age of about 10, just you can imagine, at the age of about 10, he obtained deep knowledge of difficult subjects like logic, grammar, and arithmetic. So Todarmalji was born 300 years ago. Last year only we celebrated 300th birth anniversary of Pandit Todarmalji, and there were different competitions and Sibir conducted throughout this country and even in abroad also. He is a true genius, and at the age of 10, he obtained deep knowledge of the difficult subjects like logic, grammar, and arithmetic. His all-round brilliance was matchless. He himself writes, I have studied Samay Sar with its commentary. Commentary means tika. Okay. And this tika of Samay Sar, written by Acharya Amrit Chandra Dev, was was very he was very fond of that commentary. And that's why when he used to discuss about Samaysar, he would not say Samaysar, he would say Atmakhyati Tika. That means the commentary on Samaysar is named as Atmakhyati, the one written by Acharya Amrit Chandra Dev. So many a times in Moksha Marg Prakasak you will read that Atmakhyati Tika mein aisa likha hai, aisa likha hai. So he was very fond of Atmakhyati Tika. He was very fond of Acharya Amrit Chandra Dev. So when Acharya Amrit Chandra, when he got the scripture of Purshat Siddhi Upay written by Acharya Amrit Chandra Dev, he thought of writing a commentary on that. And that is also we are going to study about Pursat Siddhi Upay in this 5 years in this Paramagam honors course. So that was about his life. So he had studied Samaysar with commentary, Panchastikay, Pravachan-sar, Niyam-sar, Gomat-sar, Labdi-sar, Trilok-sar, Tatvat Sutra, Shapna-sar, Pursat Siddhi Upay, Ashtapaud, Atmanushasan, and other works on the conduct of Jain monks and householders, and those that describe the life stories of great kings and others engaged in the pursuit of the soul. So he had done a deep studies, and he has also studied scriptures of other religions. And so there is one chapter on the other religions, what are their faults and where they go wrong. So Todamalji has pointed out very subtle mistakes existing in other religions. And because of that, he died at the early age of 47 years on account of communal dissensions. And why did dissensions happen, because the people of other religions, they complained to the king that he has written bad of our religion is not truth or correct. And because all these things that he has written, the king ordered him death sentence, and he was crushed under the legs of elephant. Yeah. So there is a comic on that story, how Todamalji, and that moment also, he was not worried at all. He was fearless. And the elephant was reluctant to put his legs on him. And he said, you do your job. I am the soul, and the soul never dies. So he was that much firm in his belief. His teacher was Vanshidhar Ji, and he died at the age of 47 years. That is in the year 1768 Common Era. Srimad Rajchandra Ji also died a very small age of 34, and he was also very brilliant. His mind was of really high intellect, and at the age of, I think, 7 or 10, he started writing those poetries. Pandit Rajmalji writes about him. So Pandit Rajmalji was a contemporary to Pandit Todarmalji, and when Pandit Todarmalji died and the scripture Moksha Marg Prakasak was incomplete, so all the people, the mumukshus of Digambar Jain, they went to Pandit Rajmalji and requested him to complete this Moksha Marg Prakasha. And what he said, I cannot match the intelligence of Ji. So how can I complete a scripture which he has stated and conceptualized? So I cannot do that. So it is written, it is very difficult to find such a brilliant person in these times. All the doubts about religious truths are removed if you meet and discuss things with him. So the best part about Moksha Marg Prakasak is that Pandit Todarmalji had written about the scriptures that he read, whatever he has read, but he also thought that what question might come up in the minds of the seeker by reading this and visualizing those questions in the mind, the doubts and the questions that had in the minds of the seeker. He put those questions there on his own and then gave the answers. So that study makes very interesting and you understand it very nicely. 10 of his prose and poetic works are available. All the names are given. Just now, Urja read it. His prose style is pure, fully developed, and comprehensible. He had extraordinary control over the language. He was a great scholar of Prakrit, Sanskrit, Hindi, and also, I think some of the South Indian languages. Because he knew this language, so he was able to interpret the scriptures written in that language, Because all these monks, Acharya Kunkun Dev, Acharya Amrit Chandra Dev, Saman Bhadra Acharya, they were all from the south, Acharya Kunkun Dev was from Ponur, which is 3 to 4 hours from Chennai. So all those great acharyas were from south. So the original scripts were written in Prakrit and Sanskrit, but then those people living there, they also translated into Tamil or Karnataki or some other languages. And he got access to these scriptures. 1 minute.
I think this.
Yeah. So he studied those languages and then he was able to interpret the commentaries on this and all. So he was also good in those languages. This lesson is based on the 8th chapter of the Moksha Marg Prakashak. So the whole chapter 8 of Moksha Marg Prakashak is about the 4 exposition. So this is just I would say a kind of trailer of that chapter. Very little is given here, but at least you will have an idea and we can start practicing the practical part of it. So what are the name of the 4 expositions? The first one is called, in Hindi it is called Pratman Yog, and English we called it exposition on biographies and stories. Biographies or stories, okay? That is the first one. Second one is exposition on technique. No, that one is Charnan Yog, exposition on ethics. Exposition on Dravyan Yog called substances or metals. So Pratman Yog, Karnani, Charna. Everyone would remember these 4 names?
So could you please repeat? I couldn't hear you.
Yeah.
First one you
So
said biography and stories.
that is called Pratman Yog.
Pratma Yog, is it?
So your voice is breaking. Can't hear you. You're on mute actually.
So it's not on mute, but we
1
can't
minute,
hear
I
you.
will just fix that internet connection. I think now it is better.
Yes, sir.
You can,
Still breaking.
1 minute. Hmm. Yeah, now it is better, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, absolutely correct.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So 4 expositions. The first one is Pratman Yog, exposition on biography stories. The second one is Karnan Yog, exposition on technical matters. The third one is Charnan Yog, exposition on conducts and ethics. The fourth one is Dravyan Yog, exposition on substances or metaphysics. So these are the 4 names. Here the original Hindi names are given, but I have also given you English names in case you want to understand fully in English. But they have used here in this script also, and in that book Moksh Marg Prakashak, there is a English translation is also available, and in that also they have mentioned these names only: Pratman Yog, Karnan Yog, Charnan Yog, and Dravyan Yog. But a foreign author from US, I think, suppose that lady from US, he translated it into English, and he has, in his book, he has written a book on Jainism. You know, nowadays, lot of people around the world are reading Jainism. So that's why we are having, we started this class in English. English batches have been started since last 2-3 years only. Because now there is a demand for English teachings, you know. People who are into jobs or something like that who are more comfortable in English. And worldwide also, many of the universities have offered Jain chairs, and they are teaching Jainisms right now in many of the foreign universities, around 140. At last count, it was around 140. It may be more now also. So because these people find the practical applications of the principles learned in Jainism, and they find a solution to their problems through these scriptures. So they feel that they should be taught, and there are some very foreign scholars who have written good account of principles of Jainism. So this lady from US, I don't remember her name right now, but she has written a book on the fundamentals of Jainism, and under that book, this chapter on 4 exposition is also there. Very briefly, not the one that we have detailed in Moksh Marg Prakashak. Moksh Marg Prakashak is really, I would say, it is just because of the efforts of Pandit Todarmalji that we are able to understand this chapter, you know. Otherwise, there is hardly anything written on these 4 expositions. No other scriptures you can show me where there is a discussion on 4 expositions. It is only Moksh Marg Prakashak, and that also a very detailed study, just because Pandit Todarmalji was a great scholar and he read this all the scriptures, Samaysar, Panchastikay, Pravachan-sar, Niyam-sar, and he was such an intellect person that he everything that you read in Moksh Marg Prakashak is just a fallout of his intense study of these scriptures. So let's begin this chapter. How much minute is left now? Oh, it's almost over, 10:30 now. So we'll not start the actual chapter. I've given you only the names. You can go through this chapter. I'll give you in 1 minute all the 4 descriptions. As the name suggests, exposition on biographies or stories is about the lifetime of Tirthankars and all the great personalities of Jainism, just like we now saw the life of Todarmalji, you know. So similarly, Pratman Yog have stories of different, and those stories and biographies are written by acharyas only. Okay. So the end objective of that exposition is to bring a ignorant soul by showing the fruits of auspicious and inauspicious karmas, that this fellow did this act. So he got born in Narak, and from Narak he went to Swarg, and from there he became a human being, and then he got in touch with a monk, and from he was a thief in his life in a human form, and then he got in touch with a monk and his life changed, and he got himself initiated into the path of liberation, and then subsequently he became a monk, and then he practiced those principles and descriptive knowledge, and he meditated, and then he got liberated. So the whole life story is depicted there, and you get a lot of inspirations from there. Then the exposition on technical matters is about the karma theory and different forms of souls, different forms, and different stages of spiritual development. So these are all given in Karnan Yoga. And the third one is Charnan Yoga, where the conduct of the monks and a householder are mentioned. How should a householder live his life, and how should a monk live his life? The last one is Dravyan Yoga, where you already read 6 substances and the 7 fundamentals, and all those are given in Dravyan Yoga. So all these 4 expositions, the methodology is different in all the 4, but the end result is same in all the 4, and that is to manifest passionlessness or the equanimity. वितरागता की सिद्धि ही तात्पर्य है चारों अनुयोग का. So how to get complete detachment or how to manifest passionlessness is the ultimate objective of all the 4 expositions. That is all. Tomorrow is the last day for you to submit Gandhar Mulyankan. You know, we have been, your homework was given 21 days ago. Okay. So try to do, those who have not done it, Gandhar Mulyankan, you have to just summarize that topic that I've given to you in 5 minutes. So I will give topics to Soumya and Soumya tomorrow. By tomorrow only I will give you the topics, so you can give it by the end of next week. Okay, so you just join, so don't worry about that. So everyone should complete by tomorrow. It takes only 15-20 minutes to summarize a chapter we have already studied in the class. I've given you those topics only that we have studied in the class, and something from self-study also, like Namokar Mantra. So you complete that and submit by tomorrow, end of the day. Okay. Urja, you pass on this message in the group, because those who have not attended today's class, they will not be aware. But I've already written in the group, and you also post it that way. Okay.
Yes,
I
sir.
also wanted to ask you about the 7 fundamentals that you said where to write about it too. I
Yeah,
think
so we
you,
have already covered that chapter, no, in Vitrag Vigyan 1.
yeah, so when do we have to submit that? Because you said to write about 6 to 7 pages on it.
That is concept clarity, right? So I think the
Yes.
last date for concept clarity is
19th.
19th. Yeah, 19th. So it's still, today is what? 13th.
Today
So
is
another
13.
week to go. So first you complete the Gandhar Mulyankan, and then you write that concept clarity. And Urja, we have to create a account in Moodle app, you know.
Sir,
So
I
that-
think there are some technical issues. It will take some time. So they're saying by the
Okay.
end of the month it will happen.
Okay.
So maybe the ones who have completed, they can share images of the things that they've written to you, and then later we can upload.
So
in
I will give my email ID. You
Okay.
can just mail me that article, okay? So I will check through my email, and when our app, Moodle app, becomes functional, we will all submit in that. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So concept clarity has to be written, and this Gandhar Mulyankan is an oral assignment. So first you complete the oral assignment, and then you go on to write the concept clarity paper 1. Common topic has been given. You have to write about the 7 fundamentals. What is the topic? Urja, what is the topic?
7 fundamentals.
Yeah, 7
Yeah,
fundamentals.
fundamentals.
So first you listen to that lecture of 7 fundamentals, Soumya, and then you will be able to write the concept clarity. And just you have joined today, so I'll give you 21 days from now to write the concept clarity. But Gandhar Mulyankan is easy. I'll allot topics tomorrow, and you can just complete it in 1 week. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so we'll close for the day.
1 minute, sir. Excuse me. Sir, we had to write the Mythbuster also, right?
Yeah. So that I will explain to Soumya separately. So tomorrow we'll connect. I will explain you some of the things, how to go about the pending whatever we have covered so far, and we will discuss tomorrow on a personal call.
Actually, it's me. It's Madhu, sir. Mythbuster, actually, in practical life, the changes that has happened.
So the changes that has happened by learning this topic that you have been allotted, like in our case, we have studied, we have given this topic of 7 fundamentals, right? So by understanding the principles of 7 fundamentals, what changes has come in your day-to-day life that you have to mention in a half page, and that is called the myth buster. So after writing concept clarity, which is starting from 1 page to 6 page, you can write anything in between that. Maximum is 6 pages that you can write, and after writing that, you have to write half page on Mythbuster. Okay, so Mythbuster is about the change in understanding that you have acquired after reading this chapter on 7 fundamentals. So you have to mention any examples that the kind of belief that you had earlier, and after reading this chapter, what is the change in your belief that you have to mention through examples, whatever, or real life events.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. निज निधि निज में बताई यह अनंत उपकार है, उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना 7 बार है, उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना 7 बार है। 9 बार नौकर मित्र गिनेंगे, जय जिन।